tune into this program, The Honorable. Of course, The Honorable is a program that is always available here on Inet MTV every 24 hours in a week. Of course, I want to say that this program, The Honorable, of course, as the name implies, talks about men and women of achievement in our political arena. We use this program to reach out to our viewers on the development of every strata of our economy, beginning from the local government, the state, and of course the federal government. It's been on for quite a while now, and we sincerely believe that we will be reaching you on this platform, God willing. My name is Prince Will Awa. Today on this program, The Honorable, I have the ample opportunity to having a desire of transparency in the political arena. I am not speaking of another person except for a man that has served Governor Fayemi as a special assistant on the youth matters in Ekiti State. And of course, presently, he happens to be the convener and national director of projects for 2023 Yoruba presidential agenda. In person is right in the house. Good to have you, sir, and happy new month.
Yes, happy new month to you and
Yes.
other viewers. I greet you all.
Okay. Some time ago, 1st of January, this time we were all in our respective homes celebrating the new year. And today is 1st February.
Yeah, we need to bless God for that.
All right.
Thank
All right.
God for His mercies and His grace.
All right. Before we move into the depth of what we have for the day, I want to garnish your persons to our viewers. Let them know you more. Who is Honorable, Ajayi Taiwo?
Well, like you have said initially, you are very right. I am an immediate past special assistant on youth matters to the governor of Ekiti State in person of His Excellency, Dr. John Kayode Fayemi, who is also the present chairman of Nigerian Governors Forum. And while I was in that office, I was also privileged to be the national coordinator of the Southwest Progressive Youth and People's Movement here in Nigeria. And finally, it is that same project that gave birth to the present project we are on to. That is 2003 Yoruba,
23?
yes, 2023 Yoruba Presidential Agenda project that we are presently doing now.
Okay. But prior to this time, there is this, you've been a coordinator general on certain progressive movements. Can you please lead us there?
Well, those ones are they are offshoot of the Southwest Progressive Youth and People's Movement.
Okay.
Like you have heard, Southwest, we are in all the Southwest states, and whatever we do, we support progressive government.
Okay.
And the present government in Nigeria, the Nigerian government is led by progressive, so we belong to that party. That's where you can find us.
Okay.
So in every state, each of the state charter, we create a project to support a performing government, and that was what led to the creation of Babajide Sanwo-Olu Progressive Youth and People's Movement,
Okay.
and Babajide Sanwo-Olu Queens. These groups are very two powerful volunteer groups that are part of the series of volunteer groups that were put together under the volunteer directorate of Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu ICG campaign group.
Okay.
We worked with so many other volunteer groups,
Okay.
and that was how we worked during the electioneering campaign, and we work and deliver and make sure he won the election.
All right. As the name implies, finally, Sanwo-Olu became the governor of this Lagos State.
Yeah.
Scorecard, personally, it's
Well,
getting to a year now. What would be your scorecard to a man? You did all you could to support the electioneering.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, as a progressive, nobody is an island of knowledge, but Sanwo-Olu made us realize that before the election, before we started working for him, he worked with the slogan Ajumose Ajumoje, Gbega Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó Ajumose ni. And we have done that. The meaning is everybody's cooperation were needed. We work together, we eat together.
Okay.
So, and funny enough, he's trying to keep to his promise, but there are some key areas that I really want him to look at very, very well. For example, all the volunteer groups that worked under the directorate, I'm not talking about any volunteer group that were not registered. Each of the, I know I can count close to 300 volunteer groups that I know under the directorate of volunteer under the Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu ICG campaign group. All of them work tirelessly. As I speak to you, I can make bold that 75% of these volunteer groups have not even been visited since ever he came on board.
All right.
And unfortunately, the civic engagement department that is supposed to take care of this volunteer has never called a meeting of any of the volunteer coordinators officially. I mean the coordinators of volunteer groups that work for Babajide Sanwo-Olu. So I want to advise, because most of them are bittered. My group was also involved. We have never been called for any meeting, official meetings after Babajide Sanwo-Olu has entered the office. Right. But it's our government, we work for him. We cannot spoil that government because it's performing to our expectation. But I don't want to believe that Babajide Sanwo-Olu should also please try and call for a meeting and meet with the volunteers, hear their plights, because they are still there. 2023 is around the corner. And we cannot sell our party for anything. This party belongs to all of us. And we work together for this government, and we must benefit from it.
All right. I really want to appreciate you for that comment. His Excellency is a listening governor of Lagos State. I believe he is listening. Of course, even if he's not listening, his officers, SAs, PAs, and the likes of them are hearing. Of course, he will do something very, very tangible in that direction. Let's move away from there. Today, 1st February, we got in the news that this same government that we are trusting, that are doing the yearnings of the people, have brought in a ban to the commoners called the Okada people in Lagos State. What is the implication of that to this young and present government?
I want to look at it from two angles. Babajide Sanwo-Olu is the chief security officer of the state. He has access to information. Probably maybe for security reasons that we do not know. But what he has done, he has not done an outright ban. I'm very sure of that.
Yes.
He did not put outright ban on those Okada. He only restricted them from flying some certain areas in Lagos State. And probably those areas are the areas where they feel they make good money. But the truth of the matter still remains that he has to do a lot of things beyond that. When I was coming this morning, I faced a lot of challenges. Because one, when you say you ban these Okada people, you did not, because you think about, I think the best thing the government can do at this point, instead of putting a ban on that, it needs to set up a committee to monitor them. They have capitalized on this, and they are now trying to use it to stain this government. The good intention of the government is to restrict them from highways where they cause unnecessary accidents and cause infractions. But now, the men of Nigerian police has even been going on the streets. I street this morning, they arrested some Okada cyclists.
On uniform?
Some of them, in fact, the most ugly part of it is that some of them will not put on uniform. And I told my brother, who called me, I said, if you see anybody that's trying to struggle with the Okada from you, and that person is not putting on uniform, shout ole ole, because you don't know the person. That is what it means. So the government of Lagos State should please try as much as possible to help us meet. In fact, they are capitalizing on this opportunity now. Everywhere you go to now, if you want to join bus in Adodo, there's no Okada, there's no Marwa, they increase their fares. Now, the policemen will go into the street and start arresting even those who are really working on the street that belongs to ward, that is not even local government. They arrest people there. I think they should bring out some numbers to Okada people. If they are arrested or molested by men of Nigerian police, those numbers they will call, and they will tell them what happened there so that they can be checkmated too. Our people, some of these Okada people are very stubborn. Indeed, the government is doing well. But the government can as well also refine them. Okay, for example, I mobilize youth, I work with youth, I lead a lot of youth groups. And I know how many of them, since there is no job, how many of them has benefited from this old pay, they will give them Okada for actually no cost, and they ask them to be paying instrumentally 2,000 every day. Now, those governments those companies were not just coming in here, they register with the government. There should be a regulatory agency the government can put in place to know the number of Okada they have, to know the number of people that are working for them. They can give them uniform, they can train them, the government will even generate revenue from there. Since there's these are the places the boys can go to. Presently, since they started this thing, you have noticed that the rate of the crime rate in Lagos in terms of burgling houses and going to places to steal has reduced drastically. Because most of these boys now feel that what they are doing, they can feed, they can eat. So stopping this one, only God knows what the implication could be on Lagos, in the street of Lagos. But I want to encourage the government to please look into this plight again and invite the leadership of these people and tell them they should set up an agency to regulate them and tell them this is what to do. Then they need to be educated. The way they are carrying the news all over the street, they don't allow us to work. Shoton, your government has banned Guinea. And these are people that are very, very, there are 4 categories of people that are very, very important in life of government. They are the one that votes. You cannot push the artisan away. You cannot put the youth organizations away. You cannot put Okada riders and market women and women away. They are very, very important. They are key. They are the one voting. So the government should please look into their plight. Please.
Thank you. And again, I said, I'm still repeating it, that His Excellency is a listening governor in Lagos State. He will, of course, do something that will better the conditions of those that are into that business, the Okada riding. Let's come back to this project that is really taking your time, giving you sleepless nights and busy schedule. And today you become the convener and national director of projects of this 2023 Yoruba presidential agenda. What truly is the viability of this agenda?
My brother, our agenda at this time, in this period of Nigerian democratic setup, it's very, very highly viable. It's very simple. Nigerian democratic process and procedure. In order to allow, because they believe it has to be rotated, the shifting of power has to be rotated between the 2 regions in Nigeria, the south and the south. They are not looking at it whether south or southeast or southwest. They are not looking at it whether it's northern region or northeast, northern. But what they are looking at is if it leaves the south, it should go to the north. If it leaves the north, it should go to the south. Okay. So by this principle, the present government is spending the 2nd term now.
Okay. And it's from the north.
It's from the north. So what we are saying is that the next thing that it should come to the south.
Okay.
And when you look at it, if you look at this south, coming to the south too, we need to look at which of the regions to go to. The people that left
before this present
government was from south.
South, okay.
Are you getting me now? And southeast, apart from the fact that they are very close, now ideally it should have been southeast. But as far as I'm concerned, Nigeria do not feel safe, because I'm not sure they are ripe or they are matured with that stage, because the issue of dividing Nigeria, which is a is not negotiable. We don't want anybody to come and create crisis for us in this country. Nigeria is one indivisible country. Okay. So the issue is that until they build that trust, then we can work for them. So that is why we are now looking at the southwest thing. And what we are doing now is that we cannot do it all alone. It's a long-term project. We need to lobby other regions to key into this agenda and reason with us. The Southwesterners have also supported the northern people twice. During the first time of President Muhammadu Buhari, the Southwest gave all the support. He won. They won an incumbent government, a sitting opposition party. And even towards the end of that term, when we were about to go into 2nd term, despite the fact that 18 senators left the ruling party, in order to ensure that the man did not come back from the north, we stood by that principle that 8 years must be sent by the northerners. And so we worked and delivered again. So now I think, in fairness to God, in fairness to, they should now reciprocate that by 2023. I want to also talk to my brother, who was also sharing his own idea too. I'm talking about Yerima Shetima, that powerful youth president Arewa Consultative Group, who was saying that they still need to take one more shot. He was comparing Jonathan and Yaradua's tenure. And I advised him, we are friends. He's just sharing his view on the issue. And I have also said my own, that he should go and look at record. From Nigerian independence, we are 60 years now. The North has ruled Nigeria for 43 years. The South only had 17 years. So you should look at record very well. You should not drag us back. Let us do it the way it should be. We are brothers. So what we have done so far with this agenda is that we have been trying to restructure, and God has helped us. As I speak to you today, we are in all the 19 northern states, we are in all the south states, we are in all the southeast states. Okay. And this is the host region, we are there. Diaspora is good to go.
All right. In the spirit of this brotherhood, let me ask this question one and for all.
Okay.
How do you juxtapose your movement? How do you harness your movement to coax the region within the southern state to support this agenda come 2023?
Well, every southern state believes that it should be the next region to rule is South. It's South Nigeria.
It's the South.
It's southern Nigeria. And now, The South South, they know, they just left.
Okay.
So they are not saying they want it.
Okay.
They are not saying they want it.
Okay.
Now it is the Southeast that should have been asking for it.
And they are not.
No, it's not that they are not. One, there are issues there.
Okay.
We don't feel comfortable.
Okay.
We don't feel comfortable.
Going by past records.
Yes. We don't feel comfortable. There are so many of them that are progressive too, who are also in progressive party. You understand me? And where you do not believe in one unity, so a particular section of them is already clamoring for Biafra. And if you see what people went through during the Ojukwu Biafra war, it was not easy. So many people were killed. So we don't want a repeat of that. Even immediately after this election, these boys were still somewhere abroad attacking Nigerians there. So we really don't want, until they are ready to come and rule Nigeria, they should put their hands together and come as one. Look at what happened recently when the issue of Amotekun came up in Nigeria. Okay. For the first time, the Yoruba nations came and spoke with one voice. And we thank God for the president, we thank God for the timber and caliber of northern leaders and every other person that has supported. And everybody now came to understanding. Round table discussion will solve the whole thing. But it was brought to...
but there seemed to be this consistent rancor over the existence of Amotekun.
Well, if you are saying this, it should be...
See, I mean, in the social media and everywhere, there is a rancor, and it shouldn't be.
You know what social media... Anybody can... Opposition can go to social media and post any fake thing. Okay. We have had a situation where they have not even counted the result of election. They have been posting what are faked. So people tend to exaggerate it beyond the way it is. Okay. But as far as I'm concerned, Amotekun did not only come to protect Yorubas. In Lagos State alone, in fact, the entire Southwest, but take Lagos State as, for example now, there is virtually no community in the whole world that is not living in Lagos. Or that is not represented in Lagos. Just mention, close your eyes and mention any town in Nigeria. They will say they are here in Lagos. Let's go outside Nigeria. Go to African country. Name any country in Africa. You will see they say they are in Lagos. In the whole world. So Lagos is... So if Amotekun is protecting us here, they are protecting everybody, including the Hausas, the Yorubas, and the Igbos in the Southwest state. They are not out to just protect just one person.
Of course, including Honorable Comrade Ajayi Taiwo.
Yes, sir.
Amotekun is...
He's protecting us, all of us, yes.
All right, let's move away from there. Just believe that we are heading somewhere.
Yes.
Now, come 2023, what do you think is awaiting this agenda?
Well, what we are saying is that presently, as I speak to you, for everybody that wants to hear now, our group, our project, we don't have anybody in mind that we're working for. What we are saying is that come to 2023, Yorubas will come together and give a credible candidate that we want people to help us support and promote. We are very, very sure that will strengthen Nigerian political base, and in fairness, together we will grow together. Okay. So we have been able to set the structure. I think the next thing on the agenda is to start advocacy visit to all the traditional first-class Yoruba leaders, traditional leaders, and we want to visit them and update them on the development and solicit for their support and blessing for this project we are talking about.
Okay. There is this popular song that says that there is nothing good that comes easy. It means there will be some challenges. So what are the challenges expected or going through in the course of this running this agenda?
Well, let me start with, let me just thank God for giving us the strength to withstand those challenges. Now, the first thing you need to know is that anybody that is going through this journey must be prepared to face challenges of betrayers. People will betray you. People will come in as spies. They listen to what you're doing. They go. We are not moved because we have the original idea with us. So when they go with half of the ideas. We continue with our own. Now, that is number one. Number two, we have made it a policy in this project that will not go to anybody to ask for money. As I speak, nobody, and I quote, no politician has ever given us a kobo. And as I speak to you, our only source of revenue are two. We sell registration form to our members in the Southwest only, quote and unquote, and Abuja, the North Central.
What about the friends of the Southeastern, Western?
No, we have not done that. You see, we are lobbying them to support our agenda.
Okay, not to go for...
Yes, Yoruba says, but some of them, when they see that we are spending money, so they are saying we should come and host the South meeting in Akwa Ibom. They are going to finance it there. They are ready. But we are not asking them to collect money because we don't want a situation where they will say we are using it to collect or exploit people. We have been able to raise little fund from sales of registration form to our own Yoruba brothers and sisters, and we have been able to use that money to successfully raise the northern structure, the 19 states in the north, and the other one. The diaspora structure, we are also looking at them to see what they can do. We also have, thank God we have a coordinator general Director General for the diaspora structure now. One Honorable Comrade Bambo Olarewaju is also working on it. Very soon, we'll through our registration site, our website, link to everybody. Everybody will have access to it. But as far as I'm concerned, my brother, we are just about to commence advocacy visit to personalities, progressive personalities. And when by the time we are done with that, our intention is to bring all possible Yoruba aspirant or whoever that is interested that is a Yoruba person in Nigeria. We'll throw it open. They should come together. We will sit down. All the traditional rulers are there. We'll sit down. Without sit down, we don't have to lose this opportunity for crying loud.
Let me ask, because we have talked into areas of concern now. Who should come to a conclusion that the Yoruba should be the next president of this country?
Well, I think...
Who should decide that? Is it the Northerners or the Yorubas themselves?
No. The Yorubas will not decide.
Then who is supposed to decide?
The Yorubas cannot decide.
Who will decide?
The electorate will decide. And for Yorubas to contest, I think we need to, the party on the platform, if I'm talking about Yoruba presidents, we are talking about APC.
Okay, presently now.
Yes, it is APC, the Southwest APC that supported APC Northern candidate
to be there.
To be there twice. So that arrangement is between the APC.
Because one good turn
deserves another.
Okay.
And I know, except that person is only bastard Yoruba will say he does not want Yoruba for president in 2023. Yes. And this project is for friends of Yoruba, lovers of Yoruba, and any other foreigners who believe in this Yoruba presidential agenda project. We believe in one Nigeria. We are going to legitimately, within the ambit of the law, lobby people, lobby the party. In fact, on our platform, we have PDP, we have Yorubas that are from different parties. They are joining us.
Okay.
They are joining us. Well, the only thing is to get a credible person that is going to follow and we're going to support.
Okay, I think that is the next line in the question here. Should you be given that privilege, that platform, to bring in a candidate that will fill in that post, who would that be?
Well, we don't want to create crisis in Yoruba land. For now, we don't have anybody. Like I told you, we don't have anybody in mind. But we all know in Yoruba land, we know people, we have been seeing things ourselves. When we get to the bridge, I don't want to... when we get to the river, we'll cross the bridge. What we know is that we are advocating for a Yoruba presidency. But by the time it gets to that place, Yoruba leaders, everybody will come together. That was the way they decided for Amotekun now. Did you hear anybody that spoke against Amotekun? We know good things now. We have learned, we are wise. Yorubas don't talk carelessly again. Okay. Because we know what we're going, we know what we are doing. But our interest is in one Nigeria and divided Nigeria. Okay. So we don't want this country to be divided, and we want everybody to have opportunity, equal opportunity to what we have. But
are you seeing this quest from the Southwesterners to be a threat to anybody at all? Come 2023?
It's not possible. We can't do it alone. We are appealing to all regions too. And all regions. We just have to come together and work. Why don't sit on the table and draw out the plan, then we'll move together. Thank God we have been able to cut across the whole nation, the regions. We have our structures. After advocacy visit, we start launching those regions. And that is what we are up to for this year. And I know God will help us. Now, up to this stage, I just want to appreciate all my national executive members and those that have been supporting us. I said two things. We generated a fund through our sense of fund. And some of my executive members and members even. Members will take transportation from their various homes to venues of meeting without collecting a dime. They will go back, despite the fact that they use their money to register. Yet, they say there are several groups. Some groups are even mentioning some candidates that they are working for, so they are in their names, they are sharing bread, they are sharing rice. We have not given anything to our own members. We believe in that policy, we believe in where we are going to. When we get there, we'll get our own benefit too.
As a convener and national director of this project, yes. What does it mean? You don't have time again for yourself. What has been your personal...
Even my family. Yes. Even my family. But I want to believe that it's not easy. It's not. We cannot pursue two things at a time. This project is really worth giving time to. So I think I am used to it anyway. It's part of what I've been used to since my years in the university. Okay. So I've been used to struggle. Okay.
And your wife at home and the children are in support?
Of course, yes.
Of you giving them all this,
of course.
Do you have any fear at all? You go out there, you meet people who don't like your face. They don't like what you're doing. Do you have any fear that something
No,
wrong could
no, no,
happen to
no.
you as a person?
Well, it's only God that has life.
Agreed, but as a
Yes.
person, do you have
And
fear?
when I didn't do people. I tell you the way straight, the way things are. I don't have any cause to fear. Whatever we tell our members, we do. We don't have any cause to fear. We don't have any cause to fear
Okay,
anybody.
in terms of this structure,
Yes.
in terms of structure,
Yeah.
what have you been doing? Maybe you're going to hold on there right now. Let's proceed on this brief break. When we return, you tell us what you've done as regards structure. Stay with us.
Thank you.
I do tell us that when we return, the Honorable will tell us the structures he has been able to put in place over time that will guarantee success come 2023.
Yes, thank you very much. So far, so good with the assistance of God and grace we have been able to get. We have today all the 36 states coordinating structures on ground. We also have our diaspora structure too. And we are giving the mandate to our diaspora director general that he should also get coordinators for each of these continents, like the Asia, the Europe, Africa, including the African continent as a continent too. And he's really seriously working on that.
Okay.
I also want to tell you that today we have some prominent members of this group who have been supporting us, who are part of the structures. Yeah. So as I speak to you today, we have the entire state structures in place. Then we have our national executive team. We have the regional structure too. So, and we are all working together towards achieving the same goal. We have told them not to go on the street for now. The structures are there, the awareness is there now. The next thing we want to do is to do advocacy visit in each of the region to people that matters. You know, the people dictate and they decide for a particular region. Okay. So we'll start that very, very soon. But we want to start from our own land. To really Latin catch already.
Okay, I think
charity begins at home.
Okay, they're really flowing with you there. Let me ask this question. You see, to every good plan A, there's always a complementary plan B.
Yes.
Do you have any plan B for this agenda?
Well, of course. Even if we have any plan B, I don't think we're really going into implement that for now. But if there's going to be any plan B, whatever that is going to happen within the next 2-3 years will determine what will happen then. Okay. But it's not to create crisis. It's not to. We do it with common sense too. Somebody had used common sense revolution to change government, to collect government from a ruling opposition party, okay, a ruling government to an opposition party. So I think the common sense are still there. The pot is there. We can always speak. There are so many there. We have different formulas. But we, honestly speaking, we don't have any choice. Okay. We don't have any choice than to ensure that we protect the integrity of our country.
All right, Honorable.
So, yes.
Long before this time, you made mention of a guy from the north that says that there is need to go into it again. This will underscore the quest from the west. What is your take on that?
Well, I have told you, Yerima Shetima is who I was referring to. And he is the chairman and coordinator and president of Arewa Consultative Youth Forum. So he's also a very powerful man in the north. But yes, he has influence. In fact, we are going to work together with Yerima Shetima. I can assure you on that.
On this agenda?
Yes, we are going to work together. We require understanding. Because I've told him to also, because he has given his own idea, his own reasoning, and he gave reasons, he backed it up with reasons. But I told him he should go back to history and check. From 1960, the North had ruled Nigeria for 43 years out of 60 years. Okay. Yes. Out of 60 years of Nigerian independence, 60 years now, the North has ruled for 43 years. So the South only had 17 years. Okay. So, and now somebody is trying to balance it up. You are bringing up another thing. He has suggested his own. We'll sit down and talk it over. Right. I'm also even planning to meet with him again. Okay. So we'll talk over it. All right.
I think we are going to draw the curtain on that topic right now, but I'm going to take you on something very brief, Honorable. In this present government, there seem to be uproar, complaints of either fire, inferno, this and that, non-performances and all those ones. If you were to be given a privilege to give counsel to this government, what counsel would you give to this present administration from the top?
Well, I think more has to be done. The first thing is that the Nigerian National Registration Agency, which is NOA, that is saddled with the responsibility of educating Nigerians, educating the citizens, educating, doing a lot of things, are not up to, they are not living to their expectations. I look at Oyo State, for example. They keep saying it during a Harmattan period. They keep announcing. They keep doing this. They go around in megaphone. They tell people this is what you must do. This is what you must not do, and it saved them. The incident of fire in Oyo State reduced drastically. I think if the state, local government, and every other region can also, if they can charge the NOA to resume back the way it used to be, I think things will change. But as far as I'm concerned, most of these things, carelessness of our people too, are caused by it. But I don't know. The issue of corruption, and corruption might be part of, because I don't know. I'm only saying this because somebody has said that. Somebody just jokingly said, "Want to go I don't want to believe that. Probably maybe something hidden. They just have to. They want to. Maybe they want to prove a particular company, and for record not to show, they now have to put fire in the company. But that's not. In most cases, it's not. What money are they going to embezzle in Amon Plank Market that got more recently?
Or at Abulegba, that
and that fire will come. No, look at what happened in Abulegba. Is that government's fault? It's not government's fault.
But I'm saying, what are your counsel? If you, because a lot of people are trying to,
they need to create fear. There was a way the government, when the government knew that it's going to affect her seriously, when Ebola came, if you see the kind of publicity they gave to Ebola, everybody was surprised. People that had HIV were thanking God. I will thank God that we have HIV. It's not Ebola because we still have life to live. If government gives such an attention to pipeline vandals and other things, people will run away from it. So it is possible.
So in the nutshell, what do you want the government to do?
The government should intensify more effort in educating Nigerians. They should use community. Thank God Amotekun has come anyway. Community policing will also help. Because if they have been empowered, when they see any strange face around anywhere, they will make noise.
All right, thank you. Let's get back to the local government. So many roads in this environment we are, and across so many places in Lagos State. It's as if the dwellers of those places are just moving from one remote place with their roads to come and stampede in that place.
I want to disagree with you on that.
But I said it seems. So what do you think?
Because let me tell you this. The President, Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, he declared state of emergency on Lagos roads. And you know our people, their patience are not enough. He had to reduce it because when he declared state of emergency, that all the roads must be done at the same time, people were lamenting, "Oh, go slow, this I only want here. Government, I don't know, they don't think they are supposed to do it in the night." He has to slow down. But the major road, everybody are enjoying the benefit of the roads now. Okay. So I'm sure the state, in terms of that, the state is trying. Okay. The state is trying. As far as the local government, thank God now that they used to partner with the state to do it. Like in Ojokoro SCDA, the governor just came to commission about 31 roads recently.
We are aware of that.
Yes.
But in Ifakojai, the mother, the roads there seems to be as if we
I am telling you, I don't know what happened in Ifakojai local government.
But I know in Lagos State. I'm talking
the government is not happy, the party is not happy, the chairman is not there now.
But we have a chairman as we speak now, either acting or whatever, but we have somebody
Things will change. Okay. I can assure you. Let's be patient with the government.
But there's no time frame.
2023 is around the corner. The term that fire can hire. Okay. The term that hire can fire as well.
All right.
It is the way waiting. Let me tell you, if INEC is going to conduct, if that law they pass is real, if INEC is going to conduct 2023 election, everybody will sit up.